Good morning and welcome to the campus of Father Ryan High School, Giacosa Stadium. Hey everybody, Lou Pickney and Owen Dougherty with you here on a game that was scheduled to be played last night at Stratford. Nashville had significant rainfall from the remnants of Hurricane Harvey. It ended up flooding out a lot of the northeast, northwest part of the city. Stratford's field and all Metro games last night were called off, and so Father Ryan, with its artificial turf surface here, able to host the game. So it's technically still a home game for Stratford, but the Irish playing in their familiar confines, but for the first time this season, Owen. So the Irish, after 2 games on the road, technically a third road game, but here on campus.
Yeah, it's really nice kind of have this 6th home game. You know, it's something that's going to be very unusual compared to everyone else. And, you know, Dr. DeWater, on the phone yesterday, I was constantly checking in with him during the day, trying to figure out what's the plan. And, just to able to work this out, it just shows you how nice this field is and what the benefits are to Father Ryan being able to have a turf facility that can drain easy compared to a grass field, which of course, it's muddy, it's in the ground. The ground stays wet for a very long time. And we did get a lot of rain. I mean, it almost rained for 2.5 days straight.
It was an absolute downpour as we look towards both teams at midfield. And so it will be Stratford kicking off. Typically, for Father Ryan, they defer till the second half, but Stratford with the toss, and they choose that. So it will be a kickoff to the Irish to start the game here momentarily. And again, this was originally scheduled for 7 o'clock last night, moved to an 11 a.m. Central Time start today. So
college football kicking off for the first time this week, too, minus, BYU played last week, Ohio State played Thursday, but the real kickoff is like right now. I wonder who Corso picked today. Who do you think? I think he has to go with the Seminoles today over the Tide.
You know what? You can't tell with him. I would think
he likes to mess with Alabama fans more than anyone else.
He certainly has a certain sentiment with the Seminoles. So the Irish to the left side are ready to bust through the Father Ryan banner, and here come the Irish. Irish 1-1 on the season, beat Overton in week 1, then lost a game that was very competitive through 3 quarters last Friday night, 8 days ago at Brentwood Academy. Be a good chance here before kick things off to go over some of these scores from last night, because it's a little unusual for Father Ryan being a private school playing against a public school, and so as a result, the Metro schools canceled games yesterday, but a lot of other teams, actually everybody else.
One thing that struck me interesting, that was at Brentwood Academy, and JP2 was still playing last night in Hendersonville, and I mean, played to Brentwood Academy last week, played JP2 next week. You kind of see what you get there. Kind of similar, 7 points offensively, but the defense of JP2 allowing a lot more points than the defense of Father Ryan. Kind of shows you the strength Coach Rector has built on defense.
So Brentwood Academy, a 43-7 winner at JP2. JP2 will be here in 6 days. Bishop's Cup on the line. The Irish hope to win it back. Other scores, MBA a home winner 35-23 over Macaulay. It was 2-1 coming into this game. We'll take a quick moment of silence.
Watch
And so we are through the opening prayer and the national anthem. They typically don't have the players out on the field before the national anthem, but certainly a non-conventional setup here today. And so the Irish set to receive after Stratford won the coin flip. Stratford wearing black uniforms, black pants, black helmets. They are the designated home team. Father Ryan, white helmets, white jerseys, and purple pants. And to my knowledge, Owen, this is the first time that Father Ryan has worn those white jerseys here at Giacosa Stadium.
Yeah, I kind of like it. A little Dallas Cowboys for you, kind of there.
It has that feel to it, even though they are technically the road team. Last year, Father Ryan had to wear purple jerseys to start the season at Hillwood because Hillwood's green jerseys were not ready yet.
I remember that. That was kind of interesting, too. It's kind of opposite, and just kind of a different feel. Sometimes hard to get used to, but I kind of like this white look here. Maybe they do a white out for the jungle or something one day, and we're all white.
That would be fun. I'm not sure what the TSSAA rules are on that, so I'll have to confer with whoever makes those decisions. So we have a delay, but we'll have the kickoff here momentarily for you. Stratford comes into this game 0-2. Last season, they were a perfect 10-0 in the regular season before losing in the second round to CPA. And to finish what I started before, talking about scores of interest, NBA beating Macaulay 35-23. Ensworth the winner at Knox-Webb 35-14. Baylor falls to 1-2, a loss at Atlanta Marist 31-6. Ravenwood's on the schedule for the Irish. They moved to 2-1 with a victory over Franklin 13-10. And then Brentwood High 3-0. They'll be here on October the 6th, a 38-0 winner over Dixon County.
Yeah, definitely some big games to look out for. Brentwood is definitely a very good team in their division. So is Ravenwood. Homecoming is going to be a very interesting game. It was last year as a good game against Evangelical Christian here at Father Ryan. And, homecoming's always a special time of year. And it's going to be really cool because since they've had technically 3 road games now, they get to have all these home games back to back to back. They've only got 2 remote road games remaining after today.
And only one outside of the Middle Tennessee area. And they
go to Chattanooga for Macaulay, I believe, last week or the second to last week. They've got Baylor and Macaulay back to back.
I want to think it's at Baylor to end the season. I should have that in front of me. I don't, but I just know they played at Macaulay twice last year. I was down there for both of those.
Well, one thing I noticed is that some of the schedules didn't change. Like we were supposed to be at Pope John Paul II this year. We're not. They've got second year in a row here for the Bishop's Cup. And I believe it's the same way with Montgomery Bell. Yeah, 2 years in a row here as well.
And the flip side, of course, Father Ryan had to play back-to-back seasons at Brentwood Academy in the regular season. It's just, this is the start of a new cycle they do every 2 years. And
well, that and, they've changed up all the classes and stuff and new schedules. Teams like Good Pasture and entering D2 with CPA, who's done really well, by the way, beating Ensworth last week. So it's just, I think a lot of things have come to the factor with the schedule change. But, I like it so far.
CPA beat Stratford week 1, 43-12. That's a stout team. They're not on Father Ryan's schedule. And so as they're working on the scoreboard, there's a temporary pause. We don't have a play clock at the moment. We don't have a game clock either. Part of the challenge, the thought being this stadium would not be in use until this upcoming Friday, the aforementioned Bishop's Cup. Good turnout today, particularly with late notice.
I think we got it up now.
So they got the scoreboard back up and going, at least from what we can tell. Nothing for a play clock yet.
Well, I think the refs, they probably have their own play clock system. Let's hope they do, because I'm ready for some football. I don't know about you, Lou.
Oh, ready for them to kick off.
They already delayed me by 1 day. I can't wait any longer.
Well, Irish certainly would like to get a victory here and move to 2-1. And we are underway as a pooch toward the far side, fielded and taken down at the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. And that's where the Irish will start their first offensive drive of the series. Good job by Nick
probably
Leduc.
The smart play to always, kind of fall on it. Worry about catching it rather than when you're going with it, especially when you're not the deepest receiver, because it's not going to take very long for those Stratford kickoff guys to come and hit you.
So for the Irish, it's going to be Seamus O'Connell in at quarterback. And unlike last week, when he was in the week before, splitting time with Cade Pfeiffer with a knee injury out for the season. So the Irish will be leaning on Seamus O'Connell here on 1st and 10 out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side. It's going to be a handoff. Jackson Bird busting through to the 45. He has a first down past midfield. Found to be brought down. He's not down yet. Don't blow that whistle. His knee did not hit the ground. They rule him down, though, at the Stratford 47-yard line.
That's a good, strong play coming up. We definitely saw the offensive line really firing off right there, creating a big hole for Jackson. And that's how you start off a football game with a first down up the middle.
Stratford gave up 214 rushing yards last week against Hillsborough. Irish only had, look at the wrong status, on 1st and 10. Jackson Bird to the far side of a 2-yard gain, setting up 2nd and 8 for the Irish.
I think the game for them is definitely going to be up the middle. Stratford not looking too much bigger, which is kind of unusual. Father Ryan usually been the smaller team 90% of the time for as long as I can remember. But, you know, Stratford kind of seems same size, if not smaller than Father Ryan. So I think up the middle is where their game is going to be today.
Stratford runs a 4-3 defense. They've got a couple of big guys you would think might be more of a 3-4 look, but that's not what they have. So on 2nd and 8, again a handoff. Jackson Bird gets past the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard to a full yard on the carry. See big number 52 in there for Stratford. He's who I was talking about, Tyler Holt. I don't have height and weight for most. I'm lucky to have a Stratford high school roster. I got to tell you, it's not an easy thing to hunt down.
It's not.
So I didn't trust the height and weight listings, but I found a few. So it's going to be now 3rd and 7. The Irish, 10:38 to go first quarter. No score here at Giacosa Stadium. Long count. That'd be a pitch to the near side. Jackson Bird makes a cutback past the 4 to be brought down about 2 yards shy of the line of scrimmage. And that sets up 4th and maybe a long 2 for the Irish. They'll say 4th and 3, ball spotted at the 40.
I think either we're going to see another run up the middle, or we're going to see what we saw last week with a lot of pooch punts by the quarterback, even some on 3rd down last week at Brentwood Academy. What a good night that was, too. I mean, the weather was just fantastic. You know, I'm in dress pants. Well, not dress pants, but just pants. In the second week of the year, that's usually pretty hot, but it wasn't this year. It's kind of nice.
On 4th and 3, they fake the jet sweep. It's a throw complete. First down, Irish. Finally brought down at the 28-yard line. Evan Ruers on the reception.
Yeah, Evan Ruers had a miraculous catch last week, tipped up in the air, finally brought it down with one hand into the shoulder and caught the ball last week. He's had a good season so far for the Irish.
So Father Ryan on 4th and 3 converts. They fake the jet sweep, sending Quinn Warren in motion to the far side, and that opened up the middle just enough for a passing lane. The clock stops. 9:44 to go first quarter, no score. Those of you just joining us, Stratford won the coin toss, opted to delay until the second half. Their options they'll receive to start that second half. Father Ryan talking things over on the sidelines. And again, a game that was originally scheduled to be played last night at 7 at Stratford. Still technically a home game for Stratford here on the campus of Father Ryan High School.
You know, I got to say for Stratford, I do like that all-black uniform, but I can't believe they've chosen to wear it. I wonder if that's their only...
I saw something that had orange uniforms in it, but I'm not sure if that was from last season.
It could have been, but that's tough. You know, probably didn't think they were ever going to have to play during the day, but that's hard to do, all black, first week of September.
So on 1st and 10, a throw by O'Connell to the far side, complete. Wyatt Rector makes a spin move to the 15. Flag comes in late, away from the play. He'll have the first down, depending on what happens with this penalty flag around the 13-yard line.
I don't know what that could have been. They could have been holding. It's a personal foul against Stratford, it appears to be.
It'll be offsetting personal fouls against both Stratford and Father Ryan. My attention was away from whatever that altercation was, watching Father Ryan move the ball.
You know, there's a lot of bodies out there, you know. They're far side of the field, not near side. Just kind of a little harder to see what exactly happened there. So they're going to look a little rough there at the end.
So they're going to bring the ball back to the 28-yard line, so that gain nullified with the offsetting penalties. So again, it will be 1st and 10 for the Irish, 9:34 to go first quarter. No score, Father Ryan and Stratford.
Yeah, and so far, Lou, you know, it's been pretty clean for the Irish. Other than that, you know, Coach Rector has been preaching, you know, stay grounded. Don't fight back until, fight during a play. Don't fight after the play. Don't fight after the whistle. Stay grounded, let's be clean, let's be disciplined, and let's just beat them.
So on 1st and 10, O'Connell rolls out to the far side as an open receiver, complete at the 5. Touchdown, Irish. Evan Ruers gives Father Ryan the early lead.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that Seamus O'Connell rolling out last week. Beautiful play drawn up right there across the field from Brewers. That's a good start to this game for Father Ryan.
It's going to be the freshman Zach Wesnowski in to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Kick splits the uprights and good. So 9:27 to go here in the first quarter. It's disregard, but the scoreboard says 7-0 Father Ryan with the lead. We'll keep it here as the Irish prepare to kick off. Stratford had an interesting start to their game last week against Hillsborough. They had a kickoff taken all the way back to the 5-yard line. Ended up getting a score on fourth down on that series, and being a bit misleading with what ultimately happened. A lot of mistakes in that game, not to be overly critical, but the Hillsborough game against Stratford 1 week ago, or 8 days ago, I should say. A lot of miscues by both teams. Rod Reed was the player who had that long return. He's one of the return guys back for Stratford, along with Jevin Thompson.
Wonder if he's related to the Rod Reed at TSU, who I do know personally, but I don't think they're related. But I do know Coach Reed from TSU personally, but
you have to ask him that. I don't know offhand. I was lucky to have his name on a roster, to be honest with you. So Father Ryan leads 7-0, preparing to kick off. 9:27 to go here in the first quarter. And the question is, will this be a squib kick, like the Irish utilized frequently against Brentwood Academy instead? Kind of a pooch. It'll bounce to the 25-yard line toward the sideline. A dangerous play goes out of bounds. And with the penalty, it will be 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line for Stratford. But that ball was bouncing around, Owen, and if the Irish could have jumped on it, it was a live ball. It could have been theirs, but in this case, it went out of bounds.
And that's what the kicking game from Father Ryan has been, excluding field goals, but it's been high and short. From the pooch punts, to actual punts. We saw Father Ryan, they punting the ball very well, flipping field position, but a lot of pooch punts as well. And all the kickoffs, for the most part, have been short this year. Probably hoping to bounce on something.
So on 1st and 10, it's a different quarterback for Stratford compared with last week. It looks like Robert Lilly Sneed. He's going to hand it off. And that play blown up immediately. Father Ryan, Austin Crow, who had a defensive touchdown last week on the stop.
Yeah, I was right there when that ball went up in the air. We were trying to figure out what's happening, and all of a sudden that ball popped up in the air. He caught it and just ran it back right in front of us. That was the most exciting moment of the game last week for me.
That was part of that big third quarter for the Irish as they pulled within one of BA. So 7-0 Father Ryan, 9 minutes to go first quarter. And on 2nd and 11, it's going to be a full receiver look under center. Will go Stratford. Be a handoff. And there's just no room at all there.
One thing that we've learned since Coach Rector's been here in his second year in his tenure is that this run game that he wants to completely destroy. We saw against last year against Ty Chandler, who is the second string running back now at UT as a freshman, and they have just completely shut it down since he's been here. That's something you have to admire from Coach Rector, what he's been able to do on defense.
Yeah, that was memorable last year, the way Father Ryan was able to stymie Chandler through 3 quarters. He's going to be a good one for UT. He's the best high school running back I've ever seen in person. I'm glad that he's out of NBA now.
I am
The Irish don't have to deal with him anymore. So 3rd and 12, 8:10 to go first quarter. Father Ryan leads Stratford 7-0.
I don't think they have a Ty Chandler, but I'm pretty sure they're still pretty loaded back there in the backfield.
Well, they're 3-0. So on 3rd and long, pass takes a one hop to the receiver, hits the turf, and that's going to set up a 4th and long. Rod Reed, the intended receiver. So it's Robert Lilly Sneed, who didn't play quarterback last week, at least from the video I saw, which was the majority of the game, though there was some that was clipped from it. But nevertheless, it's a different look. James Moore, who was quarterback last week against Hillsborough for Stratford, and at receiver.
Seems Father Ryan's got the punt block on. They're going to go after it here.
And why not bring the pressure against Stratford with a 7-0 lead? Irish looking to bring some strength. They nearly get to it. It's a wobbler, fair catch called for and made at the Irish 42-yard line. Good job for the Irish. Quinn Warren bringing it in on the fair catch.
I like seeing block punts more than anyone, but that's definitely risky because we definitely saw, with Father Ryan all coming back there, all the punter really had to do is just throw it up, and one of his guys probably could have caught that and gotten an easy, probably touchdown. So you always got to be careful depending on where you are. If you're not in your end zone or inside your own 20, definitely got to be careful if you're going to bring the punt block.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do on 4th and 12 is run into the punter unnecessarily, give the opponent a fresh set of downs. So Father Ryan on its second offensive series, going to go 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side. It's going to be Houston Crouch in at running back. O'Connell, the quarterback, is going to roll to the near side. Looks under pressure, stays on his feet, and then finally brought down for the sack. The 35-yard line.
O'Connell there just not able to escape the pressure. Stratford bringing it up there. You said number up there. They've got some bigger boys up there for Stratford. But compared to what last week is, I think Father Ryan's going to be ready after what they, how they really handled Brentwood Academy through 3 quarters last week.
So Stratford on the stop there. One of their better players, LaCorey Buchanan, the senior, 6 feet tall, 210 pounds. Had 15.5 tackles for loss, 84 tackles overall last season, including 8 sacks. Stratford player moves into the neutral zone on 2nd and 13. So we'll see if this is a penalty against Stratford or the Irish had a false start to induce him into the neutral zone.
We definitely saw Father Ryan going with the hard count a couple times. Last week got Brentwood Academy a few times. That's going to be a false start, it looks like, moving it back the opposite way.
Indeed, so Father Ryan going in the wrong direction thus far in this drive. 7:06 to go first quarter. Father Ryan leads 7-0. So now the ball will be spotted at the Irish 31-yard line. 2nd and 18 for this 4-receiver look, 2 to either side. And O'Connell throws it way over the head of the intended receiver, Gray Irwin.
Gray's a senior. He's had a pretty great year so far. He caught that on that trick play, that first against John Overton, the first game, that long bomb for a touchdown. He had some good moments last week against Brentwood Academy. I'm really excited what we could see from this senior this year.
So 3rd and 18 for Father Ryan. Ball at the Irish 31-yard line. They lead 7-0. So we are under 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. O'Connell looks downfield, steps up. He's going to run with it to the 35, going towards the far side, to the 40, to the 45, finally out of bounds, maybe a yard shy of the first down. Good effort running there. O'Connell with 16 or 17 yards on that gain.
You've got to have field vision to run like that around it. Most quarterbacks would just keep it up the middle and slide. He really went for it there, trying to get the first down. Looks like a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards short. I think they're going to go for it. You've got a lot of momentum going for you right now. You've shown that you can run the ball.
They're moving up quick on the Irish 47-yard line. There may be an effort to get Stratford to move into the neutral zone. That would give the Irish an automatic first down. Hard count again. O'Connell will look towards the near sideline. The play clock is not functioning, and so we have the referee on this near side indicating a timeout Irish. So Father Ryan trying to get Stratford to jump. But to their credit, they didn't. So you would imagine in this situation, this would be Father Ryan looking for the punt.
Yeah, definitely at midfield, it's kind of a mixed situation where you kind of are in good position to go for it, but you could also really flip field position on Stratford right now and put them in a position to where they're going to have to run the ball. Don't want to pass it inside your own 10 or so. And it's hard to run a play like that on the hard count when you don't have a play clock, too. You don't know how much time left. You have to call another play and actually run something if you want to.
Of course, eventually you end up giving yourself away if you try and do the fake 6 or 7 times. Typically it's difficult, but if you don't know how much time is on that play clock and the idea is run it down, see if they jump it, and if they don't, you call timeout. It's kind of tough to know, but that's what the Irish attempted there. Stratford had discipline, so. But again, it's going to be Seamus O'Connell out.
Well, he has been, I believe he did pooch it several times last year. I think that's what we might see here.
Father Ryan bunching up. Maybe again trying to get Stratford to jump. They're going to hand it off. Jackson Bird on 4th down gets the first down for the Irish.
I got to hearing all, you might be able to hear all the cheers outside the press box. I'm pretty impressed with this crowd, expecting it's an early morning, first Saturday of September, college football back on. Instead of watching their teams back on home, they're here supporting the Irish. Even the Jungle's got a good turnout, better than what I was expecting to hear. They got their speakers going. So credit to Father Ryan for putting this thing together and getting the support out here.
Irish convert on 4th down, so on 1st and 10, Bird in motion to the near side will be thrown to him by O'Connell, complete to the 45-yard line, finally brought down at the Stratford 43. So a 4-yard gain on that 1st and 10 pass, O'Connell to Bird.
Yeah, Jackson Bird, the senior, definitely getting his number called a lot early. I liked what these short passes out of the backfield for him. I think that works. He's very big running back, and you have him going against up a corner or something, and all of a sudden, if I'm a corner, I don't want to tackle him either. I want to leave that to my linebackers.
3 wide receivers as they send Bird in motion to the far side. O'Connell's going to keep it, has some real estate, has the first down to the 35, down to the 34-yard line of Stratford. So a good job. Seamus O'Connell. His father Ryan teases that they were going to do the same play they ran before, the quick outlet toss to Jackson Bird, but instead that was a fake, open up some space, and the Irish get another set of downs.
Yeah, I really like the way they're using Seamus O'Connell here, more of a wildcat, almost running the ball. I love his speed. So it's such a weapon. It's such a weapon. And, Cade Pfeiffer had speed too, and they used 2 quarterbacks, but after losing one of your quarterbacks and to still run that offense, it's still dangerous.
On 1st and 10, O'Connell throwing deep. It's open. Gray Irwin, complete. Down to the 3-yard line, maybe the 2. So Father Ryan on 1st and 10, throwing downfield, splitting the coverage. And I noticed on tape from last week, Stratford had some defensive mix-ups in their secondary, but that throw was on the money. A great catch by Irwin. Father Ryan quick to the line now. 1st and goal at the 2. 4:58 to go first quarter. Father Ryan leads 7-0.
Yeah, it just really shows how much of an athlete Irwin really is.
Be a handoff, Jackson Bird. Good job by the offensive line to open up some space. Touchdown, Irish. So Jackson Bird puts Father Ryan up 13-0 with the extra point pending. A much easier go of it running the ball this week compared with last week against Brentwood Academy.
Yeah, Brentwood Academy, they weren't just really able to get anything, especially inside. Sometimes you make a block outside, that works, but nothing really going for them last week. It's good to see the running game back for them this week.
Wisnowski hits the extra point, so with 4:55 to go here in the first quarter, Father Ryan leads Stratford 14-0. So with 4:55 to go here in the first quarter, Father Ryan 2 offensive possessions and 2 touchdowns. And on this game delayed by 1 day, moved from Stratford to here at Father Ryan. Stratford still the designated home team because of the heavy rain and flooding from the remnants of Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah, and our thoughts and prayers always with the people of Houston. Tennessee and Texas definitely have a strong connection, so our thoughts and prayers with Houston.
That's a live ball at the 22, maybe the 23-yard line. And the Irish say they have it, do they? Yes, they do.
And that's, Irish really, I think that's one of the successful. They've been kicking it so high, in short. Definitely, that's the opportunity that they've been waiting for all season. Good to see that finally happen for the Irish.
You almost get the impression that Stratford thought that ball was going to bounce out of bounds, just like the opening of the first kickoff, I should say, as Father Ryan quick to the line after the onside kick was recovered. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. They only get a player to move into the neutral zone. A flag comes out.
Yeah, and that's definitely like a kickoff. That's a risk on both sides because do you want to field it out of bounds? Do you want to wait for it to go out of bounds, or are you going to give Father Ryan a chance? So definitely a lot of risk for both sides because also you could give Stratford really good field position if you kick it like that.
Encroachment called against Stratford. So instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 5 for the Irish as they move once again into the Stratford red zone. They'll say it's at the 19. On 1st and 5, Houston Crouch. Crouch cutting up the middle. And they'll have enough for a Father Ryan first down. Something I noticed last week for Stratford. And I don't mean to be overly negative, but I wrote down abysmal tackling because that's what I saw. It's almost like you're trying to rip the ball away as opposed to making the tackle. And now Father Ryan quickly back to the line again. 3 receivers to the far side on 1st and goal from the 9 as they wind the clock. Hand off again, Houston Crouch. You'll get maybe 2 yards on that one.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I don't really like what I'm seeing from Stratford's defense at all. They're really not being able to do anything. Father Ryan's kind of gone by the throat on the run game right now. They've shown that they can stop the run, but Father Ryan just keeping with it. And I think it's already starting to wear on them a little bit.
Quinn Morton comes to the sidelines. Replaced in there by Nick Watson. A 3-receiver look for the Irish on this 2nd and goal from the 8. It's a pass, complete, touchdown, Irish. Wyatt Rector on the reception from Seamus O'Connell. And Father Ryan moving the ball at will in this one here in the first quarter. So Houston Crouch with the 8-yard touchdown, or excuse me, Wyatt Rector 8-yard touchdown reception after the fake to Crouch. Extra point by Wesnowski is up, no good. So that keeps it at 20-0. Father Ryan, 4:03 to go here in the first quarter. .403 to go here in the first quarter. Lou Pickney and Owen Dougherty with you here on the call for Father Ryan. And for the Irish, a great start, 3 touchdowns, the missed extra point, but nonetheless, 20-0 the lead they have here at Giacosa Stadium.
Yeah, good energy. You know, fans really happy what they see. Good atmosphere, all smiles on the faces of the Irish. Not so much across the way there on the bleachers. Kind of a repeat of what's happening last week to the Stratford.
So a deep kickoff by Wisnowski. Be fielded, taken to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. And they've only stopped at just shy of the 30-yard line.
I think that's the deepest kick we've seen from Father Ryan in a couple weeks.
It's the deepest that I can recall. I think it was Rod Reed there on the return. These orange numbers on black jerseys.
It's definitely hard to read in sunlight.
It's tricky, the glare.
You know, that was how it works. I was here working for the East Catholic, or Central Catholic game a couple weeks ago against Battleground Academy, and it was right in sunset. It was raining, so all that glare, they had gold, those shiny gold numbers, so kind of similar to that.
So on 1st and 10 for Stratford, they will maintain their number 11 at quarterback, Lily Sneed. We'll say pistol formation, send a receiver to the near side late. They're going to tease the pitch. They will pitch it. Father Ryan there to stuff it out, maybe a 1-yard gain at best if her tackle was broken. Marquise Reed, the junior, on the carry.
Yeah, Stratford, both sides of the run game, not working for them, not being able to move the ball on offense and not being able to stop the ball on defense. They got to figure out a way to get something going if they want to stay in this.
Gray Irwin on the stop. He had that nice catch earlier in the game for the Irish, so he's producing on both sides of the ball. 3:25 and counting first quarter. Father Ryan leads 20-0. A high pass to the far side falls incomplete. Lily Sneed got a lot of air under that throw.
Yeah, nothing really just not going for Stratford right now. But I really like what I'm seeing out of this Father Ryan defense early.
Well, the Irish certainly defensively showed a lot of heart 1 week ago at Brentwood Academy. And with a 20-0 lead in the first quarter, still plenty of time to go, but nevertheless, it's been Father Ryan with the advantage thus far. So on 3rd and 10, it's a 3-receiver look, 2 to the far side for Stratford from their own 30. They need to get to the 40. Roll to the far side. Interception, Father Ryan. To the 25, to the 20. Brought down to the 18-yard line. Anthony Wright.
Only a sophomore. Really love what I've seen out of him so far this year. Such a great talent for the Irish.
Listed at 5'10", 180 pounds. And you think about with Father Ryan's secondary, the effect that Seamus O'Connell being the full-time quarterback now with Pfeiffer's injury, taking him out of the mix, they're going to need guys like Anthony Wright to make big plays. So Father Ryan knew it was a passing situation. Wright read the ball very well. And the Irish on their 4th possession of this first quarter will start in the red zone of Stratford at the 19-yard line.
Keep an eye on Gray Irwin at the very bottom of your screen. I think they'll send him deep if they don't run the ball here.
So it's a 3-receiver look for the Irish on 1st and 10. They're looking to pass. O'Connell buying time, under pressure, and they're going to get him. So a sack at the 29-yard line, maybe the 28.
Yeah, but, you know, like I said, Gray Irwin went straight on a go route for the end zone, but Stratford's secondary was ready for it, and O'Connell just had nothing to go and finally just had to go down.
Another challenge to tell you who is who with Stratford. They have players with numbers that aren't on the list. So I'll do my best to identify them as well. I know there are people cheering for Stratford watching this game as well. So the Irish on 2nd and 19, 2:30 to go first quarter. And the shotgun to hand off Jackson Bird. And he gets maybe 1 yard on that one. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go first quarter. Father Ryan leads 20-0 over Stratford. Irish with the ball at the Stratford, they'll say the 27-yard line after the sack. It's going to be another a 4 receiver look, 2 to either side for O'Connell. Throws it quick to the near side, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Breaking forward, has the first down for Father Ryan. A good job on the completion there. Gray Irwin once again. And that'll move the chains for the Irish.
I think that's the smartest play. You're in field goal range. I know Wisnowski can hit from that range. I've seen him do it before, even in like the 7th grade. So just doing a short little pass like that, and it worked perfectly.
So Father Ryan taking a little more time to get to the line on this 1st and goal from the 6. Still working out of the shotgun. One receiver way to the far side is Rector, and sets a handoff. Jackson Bird up the middle. Nearly broke a tackle. Finally brought down at the 4. Looks like a flag on the far side.
I think this might come back for holding.
And it's interesting because Father Ryan just had Rector over there, the one receiver. So it's going to be illegal procedure against Father Ryan. So that will wipe out that play, presuming indeed Stratford will take the penalty. So instead of 2nd, waiting to see if they actually do move the sticks here. Got a lot of moving parts. This is a little bit unusual, this situation here, this technically road game for Father Ryan, but played here on its campus due to the flooding up at Stratford. So 4 receivers, 3 to the far side for the Irish. They're going to say officially 1st and goal from the 11. O'Connell will take the snap, and it's a little pitch to Jackson Bird. Spins around to the far side, nearly got away. Brought down for maybe a 2-yard gain.
Again, Jackson Bird really has had his number called a lot early. I really like what I've seen out of him production-wise so far for the Irish.
And James Moore on the stop for Stratford. Again, he was the guy that started at quarterback for him last week. Asking to do things on both sides of the ball, not starting at QB in this one. But he made the stop. Bird nearly got away, but not able to do so. So less than a minute to go first quarter. Father Ryan leads 20-0 over Stratford. It's a bunch trips formation to the near side. One receiver to the far. He's going to hand off Jackson Bird. Wide open. Nobody there to stop. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Irish.
That run game just keeps going. And this is a great early lead in the first quarter here in this one, Lou.
And that makes it 26-0 Father Ryan with the extra point pending. Wisnowski 2 for 3 on extra points in this one. Hold is good. Kick is up. And again, missed. So Zach Wisnowski, 2 missed extra points. But aside from that, it has been all Father Ryan. We'll keep it here, 37.3 seconds to go first quarter. Irish lead 26-0.
Yeah, I know. I think that one might have been tipped. We saw Stratford crashing in on the edge around that. That one looked a little weird. So maybe that was tipped.
It might have been. It's entirely possible.
Wisnowski's been pretty good this season. Only a freshman. Got to admire that.
And then you typically don't see very many freshmen play on the varsity roster here at Father Ryan. You know, we saw with the Wright brothers last year. Also Herod. So the Irish prepare to kick off. 26-0 in the lead. And remember, they had a kickoff not long ago that they recovered down at the 24-yard line of Stratford, but nobody for Stratford was able to jump on it in time. And it is a squib pooch type kick to the 35-yard line, field to the 40, to midfield, forced out of bounds. Good return there by Stratford, Robert Howard. He's a senior, and he sets up Stratford with its best starting field position of this game.
Yeah, we'll see if that gives Stratford a little motivated to be finally in Irish territory. Irish, it's really kind of been on the right side of your screen all day. For the field position, it's been nothing really happening over here towards the field house.
So it's 26-0, Father Ryan leading Stratford. 32.2 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Father Ryan with a victory would move to 2-1 on the season. And of course, Pope John Paul II coming to play this upcoming Friday night. So on 1st and 10, once again for Stratford, it will be Robert Lilly Sneed in at quarterback. Sneed will send a man in motion behind him. He's going to keep it himself running up the middle. Maybe a 3-yard gain on that one.
Yeah, Sneed definitely a very quick quarterback for Stratford.
Looks like it might have been Tyler Crouch in there for the Irish, the senior, making the stop.
Both Crouch brothers have a good season so far for the Irish.
Father Ryan without Montrell McKnight again in this one. The second consecutive game, he is out. So on 2nd and 7, they're not going to get the playoff in time as the clock hits 0. So it's been all Father Ryan here on the campus of Father Ryan High School. After one, your score, Father Ryan 26, Stratford 0. We'll be right back here on the ATW Sportscast. So we start the second quarter here at Father Ryan High School. It's been all Irish thus far. Father Ryan leads Stratford 26-0, but Stratford starting now with its best field position of the game. Maryland in college football up 13-7 late in the first quarter over Texas.
Yeah, not probably the start Tom Herman wanted for his new job, but I really like him. I think he's one of the future bright college football coaches. He's going to have a lot of success as Texas, coming from Houston, definitely has a strong connection already with the state of Texas. So I think he'll be able to recruit out of there very easily. He
and I were up in Columbus, Ohio at the same time a couple years ago. So on 1st and 10, it's a handoff up the middle. Or check that, it was actually 2nd down. So on 2nd and 7, it'd be maybe a 3-yard gain. It will be interesting to see what Tom Herman does with the University of Texas, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was really kind of excited to see Houston really competing last year opening week. I believe it was Oklahoma.
Oh yeah,
stunned them. Baker Mayfield, up in Texas. I believe that was at NRG Stadium. I can't remember.
I believe you're right on that. 3rd and 4 for Stratford. 11:24 to go here in the first half. Irish lead 26-0, and then go with a jet sweep to the near side. It's Rod Reed with the ball, and he's not going to get anywhere. Jackson Bird in there on the stop.
They were ready for that one. They were really ready for that one.
Well, they certainly were aware that Reed is a player to pay close attention to.
Not really a lot of passing from either team. I don't think Stratford only passed the ball maybe once.
Well, they had that very high throw that Lilly Sneed
yeah.
made on their last drive.
The interception 2 drives ago, I believe.
That's right. So on 4th and 7, ball at the Irish 41-yard line. Stratford needs to get to the 34 to get the first down. And down 26-0, they're going to go for it. 4 receivers. Flag down, throw to the far side, complete to Reed, forced out of bounds at the 25-yard line. But let's wait and see what the penalty flag is. Hunter Hopkins on the stop.
No, I'm confused. I think I'm not sure exactly what happened. You'd think when a quarterback runs out of pocket because of pressure, it's going to become on holding.
You would think so, but they're going to say it's a procedure penalty, a false start. Although they would have blown it dead if it was a false start. So some sort of a procedure player not lined up properly.
This will come back. This will be interesting to see. They probably might do what Father Ryan's been doing and pooch it. But at this point, when you're already down as much as they are, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what Stratford does right here.
Well, I don't see number 18 into the game for them, the normal kicker, Carter Owen. And keep in mind, they're down 26-0, and they maybe feel that punting the ball is not in their best interest here. So
I mean, you're still in Father Ryan territory. You're already down by this much. I say you have to go for it just to try to keep your players into it.
And so again, it'll be a 4-receiver look with 2 to either side. Lily, Sneed, and at quarterback. As we approach the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. Telling this player to get up to the line of scrimmage. That's what happened before. They weren't properly aligned. So on 4th down, under pressure, throwing, under duress, it'll fall incomplete. And that'll be a turnover on downs. The Irish will get the ball. You can see frustration by Ben Smith, but he should be happy.
Better field position now they dropped it.
You know, that's one less interception for his tally, but nevertheless, that gives Father Ryan the ball at their own 46-yard line. So things going the Irish way. So Stratford with that 4th down conversion brought back for a procedure penalty. And they tried it again, this Irish defense up to the task.
And people still coming in, by the way. I don't know if you can see that in the background. Cars still coming in. Very exciting game for Irish faithful so far. What they really like what they're seeing out of their team so far.
Later rivals have missed some good action. So on 1st and 10 flag flies, the hard count appears to have made Stratford move into the neutral zone.
Stratford at this point really just kind of looks out of sync. Something's not right. Something's just not right. They're making a lot of mistakes, especially on the line, the illegal procedures on offense a couple of times now on defense.
Well, I have to tell you, they made a lot of mistakes last week against Hillsborough, and I don't want to harp on that, but that's the reality. This is a team with a new head coach, and it was a situation where their old coach was at Hillsborough, or is at Hillsborough now. So on 1st and 5, be a handoff. Houston crouched to the 40. He has the first down, finally brought down at the 36, maybe the 37-yard line.
Houston Crouch, one of the shorter backs, but trust me, he is a load to tackle.
It's in that mold of Maurice Jones-Drew, the smaller running back, can be almost lost behind the larger offensive lineman. But strong, it can go.
That's also a weapon to hide behind your lineman like that.
It's definitely a positive. So 3 receivers for the Irish. O'Connell's going to keep it to the near side of the 35, and he'll be forced out of bounds just shy of the 30. And that's going to set up a 2nd and maybe 3, perhaps 4 for the Irish here.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with O'Connell's game, too. You know, to assume the full-time starter position, it's definitely a big challenge to take on week 3. So I really like what I'm seeing out of him. Probably a lot of confidence we're going to see out of this game so far.
The 4-receiver look for the Irish, 2 to either side. O'Connell, who last season played wide receiver, now at quarterback, looks downfield, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Wyatt Rector. And that will set up 3rd and 4 for the Irish.
Yeah, some routes are sometimes tricky because you can't see behind you or upfield. Sometimes receivers just get a little shaky there, but that's one you got to have.
So it falls incomplete, and it will be 3rd and 4. The clock's still running. We're not in the second half yet, and it's not a 35-point lead. So whatever the case, it's going to be for the Irish now a 3rd and 4, ball at the Stratford 31-yard line. 4 receivers, 2 to either side. O'Connell's going to keep it himself, run up the middle as the first down to the 25 to the 20. Flipped. He hit the ground. The ball popped out. Didn't hear a whistle. It looked like he was down. Stratford thinks they have it.
I think Father Ryan has it. I thought I saw white jerseys on it before I saw black jerseys on it. They give it to Stratford.
So it's going to be a turnover for the Irish. O'Connell had the first down, and he got
his somersault there.
Yeah, his legs cut out from under him. I mean, they already lost 5 for the season. Got to be careful. And obviously, there is depth behind him, but DC Tabscott, only a freshman.
That's a lot of pressure to put on a freshman.
You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're lean at the quarterback spot, but that is the reality for the Irish. O'Connell is so effective running the ball, and that helps in turn open up the passing game. But on that one, the fumble, it's recovered by Stratford. First turnover for Father Ryan, and Stratford will start this drive from their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to not fumble when you're upside down.
And that's where I thought maybe his elbow or his forearm had been down, but they're going to say no. So out of the shotgun, Lily Sneed at quarterback. It's going to be a pitch to the far side. That ball is loose. That's a live ball. Father Ryan just needs to jump on it, but instead Stratford will recover.
Well, yeah, Stratford has it.
It looked like it was Marquise Reed unable to bring in the pitch.
Yeah, that's something, it's so hard to react so fast when it's right in front of you to jump on, but that's really what they needed to do is just get on it. He was ready to take it back to the end zone.
That's the temptation. They teach you to jump on it, but sometimes when you're there in game time action, it can be alluring. So 2nd and 4, they got 6 yards the hard way on that one. It's going to be a run up the middle, a first down. Father Ryan finally able to wrangle the running back, Michael Williams. He's a senior. And he moves the chains for a Stratford first down.
One of the better plays we've seen from Stratford up the middle.
Father Ryan, by and large, has controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, but on that one, Stratford got the opening. And Williams able to get the first down. They're going to go with a four-receiver look here on 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. 7:22 to go here, second quarter. It's a handoff.
That one looked a little weird. Kind of looked like the quarterback wanted to keep it.
That's the risk if you run a read option. And there's some confusion. It was Williams on the run. They'll say no gain for him as the ball remains spotted at the Stratford 44-yard line. Jarrell Cogman, the head coach of Stratford, he replaced Maurice Fitzgerald. He coached for 2 seasons as the defensive coordinator under Fitzgerald before Fitzgerald left for Hillsborough. So 2nd and 10.
I read an article about that in the Tennessean. Very interesting.
Again, it's going to be a handoff, maybe a 2-yard gain. It was Marquise Reed on the carry. He's got breakaway speed ability. I saw that on tape against Hillsborough. But the Irish didn't give him much room to maneuver with there, and so it was a 2-yard gain. So 3rd and 8, Stratford, 6:28 and counting, first half. Irish lead 26-0. It's a 4-receiver look again for Stratford on this 3rd and long. Under pressure, throws downfield, incomplete. No one in the vicinity of the ball, really for either side. Father Ryan's defense able to corral the receivers, and that throw was way off.
Yeah, it might be why they haven't really thrown the ball at all. Both passes that I recall have not been on target at all, and that's why one of them resulted in interception. That one, I guess, was intended for the turf.
Stratford's aligning as if they're going to go for a punt here. Quinn Warren back to return for the Irish. Stratford has seemed out of sync quite often in this game, and
I think that's going to be one of the results from when you have a game plan set and then it gets postponed and now you're not playing at home and you have to get up early and make your way across town.
Father Ryan brings some pressure. It's a high kick. Get away from it. Warren will let it bounce wisely. And it'll go out of bounds after taking a Stratford bounce. And they're going to say the ball will be at the Irish 26-yard line. So that's where Father Ryan will start this upcoming drive here. 5:51 to go, second quarter. We'll keep it here with Father Ryan leading 26-0. I don't trust him to go to break because inevitably the Irish have been getting out there quickly, ready to move the ball.
Coach Rector likes to set up fast, set up shop fast.
And it's a smart move. That's a little challenging without the play clock, which is malfunctioning. But nevertheless, it gives you a chance to get to the line quickly. If your opponent isn't ready, then you've got the advantage. If they are, you can look to the side and get whatever instruction is coming in from the coaching staff. So 1st and 10 Irish, ball at the Irish 26-yard line. Father Ryan leads Stratford 26-0. It's a 3-receiver look all to the near side. And O'Connell's going to roll to the near side. Throws downfield. Dangerous pass caught. Wyatt Rector at the 45-yard line, and that'll move the chains for the Irish.
I think Rector was expecting that pass was about to be tipped out of bounds.
It's a dangerous throw. That opportunity where Stratford could have made a break at it, but O'Connell was on the money with his throw. William Riley was signaling as if he was looking for the pass further downfield, but instead O'Connell opted for the shorter pass. So
you got to be on target with a pass like that, or that's 6 points the other way.
Dangerous throwing in that position, but he made it work. So Irish 1st and 10 at their own 45, and we have a whistle.
Timeout Stratford, it appears.
So that will be Stratford's, I believe, second timeout. Looking at the scoreboard, 5:19 to go here in the first half, and Father Ryan leading 26-0. We'll be right back here on the HW Sportscast. As hot as you might think. So Father Ryan will start this drive at its own 45-yard line. 5 minutes, 18 seconds to go first half. Irish lead 26-0. A three-receiver look for O'Connell in the pocket, steps up, throws complete. It's up maybe at the 46-yard line. Evan Ruers on the catch. A flag is thrown. So another penalty, and we'll see what this one is.
It's the first time we've heard Ruers' name called since that touchdown reception early in the first.
Father Ryan scored in bunches there in that first quarter.
Well, a little series of events, the kickoff recovery, the interception. They've had really good field position and they took care of the ball pretty quickly and got in the end zone fast.
It appears this penalty is, well, Father Ryan walked backwards as if to indicate. Sometimes you have to read body language and try and figure it out until the referees get it all squared away. As always, look to the official with the white hat on. That's your head referee and the individual who will let you know what just occurred out there. I don't know if that's illegal participation.
Illegal touching.
Illegal touching, that's probably what it was. And a loss of down. Oh, illegal substitution. Okay, I didn't think the ball was, that seemed odd to me. So yeah, so illegal substitution. Irish got away with that against Brentwood Academy last week. They had 12 men on the field at one point. So now it's going to be 2nd and 15 for the Irish at their own 40.
I was down the sideline last week, and Coach Rector was not happy with the substitution game.
It's a four-receiver look for the Irish. Bring in Ruers to block with the handoff to Bird to the far side. Tries to cut back to get room, and he'll lose maybe 3 or 4 yards on that play. Good job defensively by Stratford. Man, it's a challenge. You've got 11 on 11 out there, and you're trying to keep track of who's on the field and who's not. Definitely need to make sure you've got the correct volume of players out there. Father Ryan now looking at a 3rd and 19 at their own 36-yard line. They lead 26-0 here midway, getting toward the late part of the first half. It's another three-receiver look for the Irish on this 3rd and 19. O'Connell will move Bird to his right. O'Connell looking to throw. Under pressure, a big man after him. Now a faster man after him. O'Connell got to be careful here. He's going to throw across his body. It falls incomplete. He got it back beyond the original line of scrimmage, and he took a bit of a hit there.
Kind of channel Archie Manning there and just kind of keeps running back and back and back, finally just throws it away.
I appreciate the effort there, especially, I mean, you have that big number 52 chasing after you. That's nice motivation. And a speedier player after him as well. Definitely hope O'Connell's okay. Just getting some attention on the sideline, looks to be fine. So it's going to be a punt now. Jackson Bird lining up for this with as we pass the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. It's a high kick.
Oh, man.
Mile high. Stratford better be careful. That bounces off of one of them. That's a live ball.
That's happened before in football. You can see it all the time. If it's kicked shorter and really high, right up into the direction of the sun, it's almost high noon. So definitely got to be careful there.
They'll finally say the ball was stopped at the Father Ryan, or check that at the Stratford 34-yard line. So with 3:46 to go in the first half and only one timeout remaining, down by 26, it's going to be interesting to see what Stratford does here.
Lou, I have to ask, what's it like seeing Father Ryan go from the silver helmets to the purple helmets to the white helmets? We'll get back to that in a second, but
personally, I like the white helmets. I like the look. When I played, it was purple. When they won a state title, the team my brother was on in 1997, they were silver. So they're going to go with the jet sweep, Stratford will, on this first down. Reed to the 35. He's speedy to the 40. To the 45. They better tackle him. He's past midfield. Finally, Jackson Bird gets it from behind. The ball falls out, but Stratford is able to make the recovery. Look like Lily Sneed, the quarterback, ended up falling on that one.
So that's a good job by the quarterback to run downfield, run with his players.
Showed some good hustle right there. So once again, as a Stratford fumble that they recover. They caught some of those breaks last week as well against Hillsborough, but both teams in that game were really, at many points, out of sync. I don't want to harp on that too much, other than that's how you end up being down 26-0 here against Father Ryan late in the first half. So for Stratford, they're looking at 1st and 10 ball at the Irish 42-yard line. 3 minutes to go, second quarter. Father Ryan up by 26. Be a handoff up the middle. Absolutely no room there at all. Jaden Rimbert. So Rimbert on the carry gets maybe a yard. And that is indeed what they will mark it at the Irish 41-yard line. So 2nd and 9 for Stratford. Less than 2:30 to go here in the first half, and Father Ryan up 26-0. Rimbert will remain in at running back to the left of Lily Sneed at quarterback. They send receiver in motion for the jet sweep, and it's a handoff.
They were ready for that, too. The jet sweep, they ran it several times. Father Ryan's been ready for it every time.
James Moore on the carry. Again, he's the player who started and played at quarterback the majority of the game last week for Stratford.
They just must have really liked what they've seen out of Sneed this past week and thought that was better for the game plan. Maybe defensively, since he's been playing defense.
He is a senior. Talking about Robert Lilly Sneed. Made a note here. Nearly got waylaid after a high throw to him on a screen last week. So a player late to get off the field for Stratford as they're going to go 4 receivers, 2 to either side. 1:35 and counting. Father Ryan leads 26-0 on this 3rd and 9. Bit of a low snap. Father Ryan brings some pressure. Lily Sneed steps up, and he will be brought down after maybe a 1-yard gain.
I think the only reason he may have gotten that yard is because he was tackled so hard forward.
They'll ultimately say he was down at the 41, so perhaps no gain. And that happens sometimes. They try and tackle somebody from behind, and that momentum will take them forward. But nevertheless, Stratford now looking at 4th and 9 at the Irish 41-yard line. They're not doing anything to stop the clock at this point. 1:05 and counting. Neither team is opting to. Father Ryan with that 26-0 lead. They have 2 timeouts, but they will be glad to see it go under a minute as we are now. So Stratford lines up to go for it. They need to reach the Father Ryan 32-yard line on this 4th and 9. Lily Sneed's going to throw it deep. A nice spiral. Man coverage by Hopkins. And it's indeed interception. So a turnover. Although if this is another case where the interception actually puts Father Ryan in a worse spot than an incompletion would have, but a nice job there for Father Ryan. Hunter Hopkins, the junior, they're going to ask a lot of him playing corner this season. They already have.
Well, I think with the interception right there, it gives your team more momentum than it would just getting a turnover on downs. Now, turnover on downs is still a lot of stuff to, get them all hyped up and riled up, but I think the interception does more of that, so maybe they'll get the offense really energized and get a quick score here.
I give up 34 yards doing it that way, but this late in the first half, Father Ryan, they can play very conservatively and just take a knee, but it does not appear that's going to be the plan. A hard count and a handoff. Houston Crouch has some room.
Lowered the shoulder there.
Yes, he did. Got near the 15. The finally stays down at the Father Ryan 14-yard line. The clock continues to run. Irish seem to be just fine with that. So that would be a 2nd and short, maybe a 2nd and 1, they will say, with the ball spotted at the just shy of the 15-yard line. And it appears both teams are going to let that be the last play of the first half with less than 10 seconds to go. Without a play clock, I can't tell you definitively, but here comes Father Ryan running off the field. So they will say, in fact, that was the last play of the first half. So in a game that was delayed by 1 day and moved from Stratford's campus to Father Ryan's campus, it's been all Irish here in the first half. So we'll take a quick break with Father Ryan leading at the half 26-0 here on ATW Sportscast. And so we approach the end of halftime here at Giacosa Stadium. Father Ryan leading Stratford by the score of 26-0. Hey everybody, Lou Pickney and Owen Dougherty with you here on this call on a Saturday after the heavy rain, flooding in Nashville caused all metro schools to call off games last night. Stratford's field was apparently not good to go for this one, so they opted to have it here at Father Ryan. So that's why Stratford's wearing the all-black uniforms and the Irish are wearing white at home. Interesting to note in this series, it's tied at 4-4-1. At the end of the broadcast last week, I said that this is the first time in a long time for these two teams, and that's not entirely accurate because they did play in 2013 and 2014, and Father Ryan won both of those. Goes all the way back to 1964, includes a tie, a 0-0 tie in 1965, and that's not like a vacated game. That was just a scoreless battle. And Stratford winning in 66 and 67. Father Ryan won in 1983. Stratford won 1993 and 94, and that's how you get to 4-4-1. So the Irish will kick off to start the second half with a 26-0 lead.
Yeah, so definitely not a true rivalry by all means, like with a public school, kind of like with Hillwood, but just kind of there is a good history there. It's
difficult. You only have 10 games on the schedule, and it's not like the old days when you get Overton in there as the old 11 AAA when I was playing. But you still have regular season matchups. I'm glad Father Ryan plays Overton. I mean, that needed to get back on the schedule. I'm glad it did. I'm going to have to stand up here as an umbrella was put up in front of us. The sun coming down, not much cloud cover, 74 degrees. It's only supposed to get up to 76, a nice departure from the 90-degree weather, or at least in the mid to high 80s.
That's a good point. Not raining, it's not that hot. Umbrella right in your face. It's just kind of like,
well,
really?
I can stand up. It's not the end of the world. And so Father Ryan with Wisnowski has the ball teed up, and we start the second half. A deep kick. Be fielded at the 13-yard line to the 20. Tackle made maybe at the 21-yard line. And that's where Stratford will start the first drive of the second half. It was Robert Howard on the return.
Yeah, and I mean, these past two kickoffs, you've seen deeper kicks from Wisnowski than what we've been used to seeing this whole season.
Well, they had midway through the first half, they had that one kickoff that Father Ryan recovered at the 24-yard line. Stratford wasn't able to get there. So a little bit different. It's not like days of having, say, John Arnold at kicker when you could drill it through the end zone. But you work within what you have. And so it will be 1st and 10 for Stratford at their own 21. Of course, the official home opener 6 days away when JP2 pays a return visit. So on 1st and 10, throw complete to the 30-yard line. Good tackle, Marcel Fogg on the stop. Throw by Lily Sneed, who remains in at quarterback for Stratford.
Yeah, Marcel Fogg was definitely ready there. Good, solid hit right there. Quick hit.
He's been off to a good start this season. It's a 4-receiver look for Stratford, 2 on either side. Definitely on this 2nd and 1. Throw up the middle, complete. That will move the chains. A good throw by Stratford.
You saw Willie Sneed really warming up his arm on the sideline there at the end of halftime after they came out of the locker room. The rest of the team doing stretching. He was there working with one or two of his receivers. I believe he was working with number 9, Javon Thompson, on the sideline.
Robert Howard on the reception that moved the chains. 1st and 10 Stratford at their own 42-yard line. 11 minutes to go, third quarter. Father Ryan leads 26-0. A low snap. Under pressure. Somehow maintains his balance and finally brought down for the sack by the Irish.
Irish defensive line, for the most part, been doing a really good job, especially in the first quarter, early second quarter, completely controlling the line of scrimmage.
Ultimately, the stop by Niles Gaddy for the Irish on that defensive line. Big number 55 plays an important role on both sides of the ball for this Father Ryan team. So 2nd and 15, 10 minutes, 30 seconds to go, third quarter. Father Ryan leads 26-0. And you noted, Owen, that quarterback for Stratford was warming up at halftime with his arm, Robert Lily Sneed. You figure Stratford's going to get back into this one as the ball is snapped low again. Somehow able to recover it is Robert Lily Sneed, but a big loss.
I don't know how we saw that so physically. It went right behind him. He spun almost the full 360 before he was able to find it. But
so some good instincts there by Robert Lilly Sneed, senior.
Jack Boutte was right there ready to pounce on it.
Yeah, you don't want to give Jack Boutte much of an opportunity to hurt you for the opposing team, because he will definitely do so. A threat on the defensive line. So it's 3rd and 24 for Stratford. Throws over the middle, complete, and a great hit. Nice contact right there. Gray Irwin, a clean play. Thompson made the reception, held on.
Irwin is a big, strong defensive back and a really good wide receiver, as he made that great catch earlier today, but his athleticism is just phenomenal.
And I imagine we're going to see him primarily in a safety type position as they utilize his skill with Hopkins and Fogg at the corner spots. And of course,
I've been really impressed with Hopkins a lot this year. A lot of improvements from him, sophomore to junior.
So on 4th and 11, Stratford down by 26 says, why not? Going to roll it to the far side. And it is knocked incomplete. Good defensive play. Anthony Wright, I should say, on the stop. And that's a turnover on downs.
Anthony Wright's had a good game in the secondary as well for the Irish. I'm really impressed. The younger juniors and sophomores here, as well as Marcel Fogg and Gray Irwin, the seniors out there doing a really good job as well. So very impressive.
So Stratford going for broke, down by 26 points, and I don't blame them on that one. Clearly they made some adjustments at halftime to get Lilly Sneed some more opportunities throwing the ball, but the Irish up to the task on defense.
I definitely think he looks a little more warmed up, looks a little more loose in his passing, definitely more accurate.
And so I mentioned Antonio Wright a moment ago, and he's in the game at running back to the left of O'Connell at quarterback. And it's going to be a handoff to Antonio Wright. He's got some room to the 30, brought down at the 26-yard line. That'll move the chains for the Irish.
He's got some speed. I think he might be their fastest back they have. Houston Crouch also really fast. Jackson Bird obviously got speed too, but he's definitely more their power back.
Irish quick to the line, 4 receivers, but again a handoff. Antonio Wright cuts back toward the middle. Those arm tackles finally able to bring him down at the 27-yard line, but a good perhaps 4-yard gain on that one for the Irish.
It's good to see Antonio and Anthony Wright out there both doing a good job kind of taking over that role that Elton Quimby had last year for the Irish as kind of their quick outside running back.
Is a nice change of pace to a degree. So the Irish with 4 receivers. They were trying to get Stratford to move into the neutral zone. That didn't work on the 2nd and 6. A little reset, Bird to the left hip. And it'd be a handoff, Jackson Bird. That second motion breaks through the arm tackles. Finally brought down, looks like the 12, maybe the 13-yard line. That will move the chains again for the Irish.
Another fast start from the running game, really starting to wear down that Stratford defense. They came back to life after starting the local Tiger second win, but I think that second win is starting to wear off now in the run game.
Father Ryan imposing its will, running the ball on 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Jackson Bird will get maybe 2 or 3 on that one.
Definitely the Irish after that fumble by Seamus O'Connell when he got flipped upside down. You can tell they're being very cautious with him as well.
Well, when you have a 26-point lead and you've got a game coming up in 6 days against a rival, it makes sense already with Pfeiffer unfortunately out for the season. They're going to ask O'Connell to be their starting quarterback as long as he's ready to go. Clearly they want to make sure he is ready to go. So 3 receivers for the Irish, 2 to the near side on 2nd and 8. And again, it's a handoff. This time Houston Crouch in the game. He's pushing forward. Big pile finally brings him down at perhaps the 6-yard line.
They've got a back that can do everything. It's very impressive. Houston Crouch holding his arm, it looks like.
Yeah, his right arm is favoring it. So it will be Jackson Bird back into the game for the Irish at running back on 3rd and 4. They can get a first down if they get it to the 2. It'll be a handoff. Jackson Bird pushing forward. He did not get to the 3-yard line. Looks like he was stopped at the 5, so that's going to set up a 4th and 2 for the Irish.
I wonder if they send Wisnowski out or probably end up just going for it. Maybe go with the hard count, then send Wisnowski out.
No indication they're going to send the kicking team out at this point. You know, a field goal would put Father Ryan up by 29 points as opposed to 26, but Wisnowski with 2 missed extra points in this game, perhaps Father Ryan not wanting to chance it.
Irwin comes back into the game every time. He's gone deep pretty much every time he's been in. We'll see what happens here.
Father Ryan bunched up, but Irwin is going toward that far side. O'Connell rolls out, makes one man miss, throws towards Irwin in the back corner of the end zone. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Irish.
Wow.
What a catch. Irwin. The fade into the corner. Pass by O'Connell on the money. And so that puts Father Ryan up now 32-0.
Channeling some Odell Beckham Jr. right there.
So Wesnowski in for the extra point try. And it's good. So with 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go here in the third quarter, your score, Father Ryan 33, Stratford nothing. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. .5:25 to go, third quarter. Father Ryan all over Stratford, 33-0. The Irish prepare to kick off for the second time here in this second half. Father Ryan led 26-0 at the break. And after forcing a turnover on downs, the Irish scored another touchdown. It's a line drive going towards that far sideline. I'll go out of bounds at, looks like the 8-yard line.
I think Misdemeanor was there. I think that's Misdemeanor over there, ready to field it on the sideline.
Certainly ready to go if given the call, but in this case goes out of bounds, and the ball will be spotted at the 35-yard line for Stratford, and that's where they will start with their 1st and 10.
It'll be interesting to see what the Irish defense has. I think they're going to really still control the line of scrimmage. They seem pretty energized still, not winded.
And you notice Stratford has some size. This is not like physically they're entirely overmatched. To the contrary, they've got some big guys in there, but give Father Ryan credit for their technique and certainly for bringing the pressure in the right spot. So 1st and 10 Stratford, 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Rolling out to the far side, just be thrown away incomplete. Smart play there by Robert Lilly-Sneed, the quarterback. Stopping the clock, 4:51 to go here in the third quarter.
And you go back to what you said, not physically bigger than Father, or they kind of are, kind of not in some spots, but you guys remember Brentwood Academy last week. Brentwood Academy definitely bigger than Father Ryan. Father Ryan controlled the ball, the line of scrimmage on defense, running the ball for Brentwood Academy up until the very end of the third quarter and some of the fourth quarter.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 now for Stratford as they move some players around. Switching receivers from either side. It's a 4-receiver look, 3 to the near side. And now the shotgun, Robert Lilly-Sneed. Quick throw to the near side, complete to Reed. Good tackle by Irwin will bring him down at the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. Reed on the reception for a 3-yard gain. And talking about size, it's worth noting for Stratford, their left offensive tackle, Jalen Gupton, 6'4", 300 pounds. And that's that's from the Tennessean. He was an all-region selection 1 year ago. So there is some talent on the Stratford team. Credit to Father Ryan for playing very well against them up to this point. So 3rd and 7 for Stratford. 4:16 to go third quarter. Father Ryan leads 33-0. Irish bring 4. Finally flushing him out of the pocket. Flag for looks like a holding. Complete on the far side to Reed, but this one in all likelihood will be coming back. Brought down by Anthony Wright.
Lilly-Sneed definitely looks looser. Was not making throws like that in the first half, and if he was, they were way overthrown. So he definitely seems a little more loose here.
I can understand why Stratford made a change at quarterback after seeing the struggles of James Moore at quarterback for them 1 week ago. And they've got Moore in there as a receiver they've been working in, so it's not like they're not utilizing him, but it's tough anytime you make that change at the signal caller position. Indeed, it is a holding call, and that's 10 yards from the spot of the infraction, so they'll spot the ball all the way back at the Stratford 21-yard line. So 3rd and 24. Stratford has to get the ball past their own, or to their own 45-yard line to get a fresh set of downs. They're going to give a 4-receiver look, 2 to the near side, 2 to the far. Irish only bring 3.
That's enough, though.
Indeed it is. A sack for the Irish.
Austin Crow, I think.
It was Austin Crow on the stop. Jack Boutte was bringing pressure from that far side, opening up space for Crow, who had that touchdown, as we mentioned last week, against Brentwood Academy.
Dynamic duo right there, Boutte and Crow on the edges. When you're rushing three like that, a lot to contain.
Father Ryan with that 3-4 defense. You see a lot of that 3-4 anymore in high school football because of the ability of those outside linebackers when you have 4 receiver looks on the other side, which is more common. That's just the way that it tends to go. So an apparent punting situation for Stratford, down 33-0, approaching 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. An end-over-end punt will be fielded at the 47-yard line to the 40. Finally brought down at the 36-yard line. Good return, Quinn Warren, the senior on that one, giving Father Ryan good field position. So 2:52 to go, third quarter. Father Ryan up 33-0. Look to have this one in hand.
It's been a beautiful day so far, getting here and then being outside at halftime. I mean, it's really turned out to be a good day after last night and the past couple of days when it's just kind of been really awful.
Definitely Nashville could have used the sunshine, and they got some today. So it'll be Irish starting with the ball at the Stratford 36-yard line, 1st and 10. Fakes the handoff. O'Connell under pressure. Slips one defender, throws downfield, has an open receiver. It would have been a very difficult catch to pull in. Good effort there to get the ball to Quinn Warren. And you'll notice with Seamus O'Connell at quarterback, if he's going to miss, he's going to miss long, which is what you want because you throw it short, and that's how passes get intercepted.
Yeah, we definitely saw that last week, too. Saw a little bit of both. He got pressured a lot last week from Brentwood Academy, and I think he's handled it pretty well.
I know BA gave JP2 a beat down last night. Look forward to watching that game film, prepping for this upcoming Friday. So on second down, it's Antonio Wright running the ball, and the sophomore will finally be stopped at the 32, maybe the 33-yard line of Stratford.
Father Ryan's been pretty good on third down this game. I hope see what they do here.
The clock continues to run, which is to Father Ryan's advantage at this point. We're not in a running clock situation mercy rule style because it's only a 33-point lead.
Is that 35, I believe?
35 is the threshold needed. So Father Ryan, 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near on this 3rd and 6 at the Stratford 32. O'Connell's going to roll to his left. Ball's complete. Wyatt Rector near the first down marker leans forward. He should have an Irish first down.
We'll see. This is going to be close. Might have to go to a measurement.
The near side official seems like he was stepping up right at the 26. They will spot it near the 25-yard line. That will move the chains for the Irish.
Like I said, they've been pretty successful on third down so far this game, finding ways to just barely get it.
Anytime you have a game of football, you need to have a solid commitment to the run. But when you have early success, it really opens things up, as it has for Father Ryan in this one. Here's a handoff to Houston Crouch on 1st and 10. He'll have maybe a 3-yard gain for Father Ryan.
And that was kind of part of the problem last week. They didn't have the success they wanted to have in the running game. It wasn't non-existent, but it wasn't existent enough to allow for a solid passing game like you see today.
So Father Ryan, with less than a minute to go here in the third quarter, facing a short 7, and they lead by 33 points. It's a handoff. Houston Crouch past the 20, pushing forward to be near the first down marker. He finally be brought down all the way at the Stratford 14-yard line. So another first down for the Irish. Glad to see him back in there. Everything's okay. He was favoring his arm, it looked like, at one point, but looked just fine on that one. And something else I noticed for Stratford, as far as the difficulty in tackling, they had a real tough time at times trying to strip the ball against Hillsborough last week. So here's Jackson Bird on first down. He'll be brought down. They'll say he was down at the 11-yard line. So a 3-yard gain on that one.
Haven't heard his name called as much in the second half as we did in the first half, but he has had a real solid game for the Irish.
And that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. It's been all Father Ryan in this one. Irish 1 quarter away from getting their second win of the season. So after 3, your score, Father Ryan 33, Stratford nothing. We'll be right back on ATW Sportscast. So we start the fourth quarter here on the campus of Father Ryan High School. The Irish, in what is technically a road game for them, had the advantage almost from the start. Scored on the first possession of the game. Had a lot of success early with the running game. Some deep passes as well. And so we'll begin the fourth quarter with the Irish up 33-0. We're looking at a 2nd and 7, ball spotted at the Stratford 11-yard line. Conlon at quarterback, Bird to his right at running back. It'll be a handoff. Jackson Bird will kick it to the outside, near the goal line, brought down shy of it. We're at an angle where it's difficult to tell, but they'll say the 3-yard line is where he was stopped. But that's enough to give Father Ryan a first down. So it's 1st and goal Irish. Getting quickly to the line.
And Crouch is going to be close.
Houston Crouch, the running back, trying to push forward, but he did not manage to break the plane to the end zone. And so it'll be 2nd and goal. Father Ryan trying to move quickly, but Stratford was ready for him on that one. It's interesting to see a player like Crouch, who's shorter stature, in there on a goal line play, but that's the advantage when you've got a lot of larger linemen blocking for you. It obstructs the vision of some of those linebackers trying to get in there to make a stop. So 2nd and goal, Irish, the Stratford 1-yard line. Send a man in motion. Apparently there's a whistle. So there's a penalty on the play. So offside against Stratford, although with the ball at the 1-yard line, half the distance to the goal is not a considerable amount of real estate. So they will wind the clock, 10:50 to go in the game. Father Ryan leading 33-0. Looking at 2nd and goal from near the 1. Be a handoff. Houston Crouch into the end zone. Touchdown, Irish.
Good solid run up the middle. Hole really up and up here. Didn't have to do too much work to get into the end zone right there.
Father Ryan's offensive line, as it has been for the duration of this game, opening up holes. And Houston Crouch able to get the score for the Irish. That puts them up 39-0 with the extra point coming now from Wisnowski. Ooh, low kick. They're going to say it was tipped. So no good to Father Ryan. They're going to have to get this figured out. Three failures on extra point tries in this one. So that keeps the score at 39-0 Irish. But
I don't think it's an actual kicking issue. It's something on the edge. They're just not able to contain it. Stratford on the edge, they're getting in there.
It's been one of the few negative spots for this Father Ryan team that has played very well today on both sides of the ball. They definitely need to shore things up a bit on that ahead of the game against JP2. Now, Brentwood Academy beat them handily last night, but Pope John Paul II High School was 2-0 going into that game. This is not one for Father Ryan to overlook by any means, and I doubt that they will after last year's thriller. That ended up being a heartbreaker for the Irish on the fake field goal try, and the last, for them, was the last offensive play of the game. That came up short. So 39-0 Father Ryan leading Stratford.
Definitely a lot of people angered over that game, especially at the JP2 students for storming the field last year. So yeah. Father Ryan wanted to get back at that.
That's what I was saying last week. Irish have a few receipts ready for JP2. So we await the kickoff. They finally have that ready to go. See if they're going to try another kick toward the sideline. At this point of the game, you imagine the Irish are looking toward holding the shutout. That 39-point lead be some nice momentum going into that rivalry game this upcoming Friday here at Giacosa Stadium. A line drive. He fielded at the 10-yard line to the 15 to the 20. Cuts it back. It's Rod Reed with the ball. He's dangerous, but he's brought down. Good job by Anthony Wright to make the tackle at the 21.
Coverage-wise on special teams, Father Ryan has been very good today.
And they weren't tested as much on that against Brentwood Academy because the Irish opted to go with squib kicks, or onside kick type attempts, as opposed to tempting fate against those really good returners at BA.
Yeah, and also, you know, we talked about those pooch punts last week. Brentwood Academy, like you said, and we talked about, that punt block is just very nasty, very hard to keep them from blocking an actual punt.
Father Ryan had success with that last week and fought him hard through 3 quarters before BA finally pulled away. So 9:57 and counting with the running clock now in play. The Irish up 39-0. Throw over the middle is nearly intercepted, in and out of the hands of Matthew Zito. Excuse me, it is Zito. Proper pronunciation, first time calling his name this season. Intended for number 2, James Moore. So Zito. Halftime score was that Maryland leading Texas 30-14 as we take a look at some college scores here on Owen's phone.
Penn State easily taking care of Akron at halftime, 35-0. Clemson in their national championship ranked 28-3 over Kent State in the third quarter.
So on 2nd and 10, Stratford will throw in and out of the hands of a couple of players. First, it looked like Robert Howard would bring it in, and then it was nearly picked off by Grayson Hubbock. They actually say Beacom helped to break it up on that one. There are a couple of players in that vicinity for Father Ryan defensively, especially in their secondary. They have played exceptionally well today.
Yeah.
8:45 and counting fourth quarter. Father Ryan leads 39-0 over Stratford.
This whole defense has just been so solid all year. It's really impressive.
They have plenty of tests upcoming in the next several weeks. A tough schedule. Not only Division II AAA, but some of their non-division games. On 3rd down, it's an incomplete pass. So is it Draquan Gills? I've got 2 number 7s in my roster for Stratford. It was a mix and match of getting names for this thing because they weren't exactly forthcoming with their roster for whatever reason. So the clock continues to run as we approach the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Father Ryan leads 39-0.
Yeah, it's definitely sometimes a challenge to get a roster, but, sometimes it's an outdated roster. I believe during Good Pasture, I think we might have had a roster from last year, but we just had to settle with it and assume that most of the players were, by their size being bigger, that they weren't freshmen. That was actually who they were.
Carter Owen in the game, their punter, finally seeing some action. Ball takes a Stratford bounce. Father Ryan gets away from it. You'll finally see the ball was blown dead at the 43-yard line. Interesting to see William Edmondson, the freshman, in there on punt return. Wise enough in his youth to stay away from that one once the ball started bouncing. So the Irish will start this one, this drive at its own 43-yard line, but the clock continues to roll as we approach the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter. And into the game for Father Ryan at quarterback, D.C. Tabscott, the freshman.
He had a really good game, good passer. I know you tuned in to me and Austin Lou, and Billy Lou, but I was really impressed with the freshman, the talent he has, how accurate and calm he really is in the pocket.
He was in for some late game duty last week against the BA. His first pass as a Father Ryan quarterback is complete, but it'd be maybe a 1-yard loss, if that.
They'll spot it still at the 43, no gain.
Jaden Johnson, the freshman. I had to pull my freshman sheet. Father Ryan's got enough players where I've got my rollover page here, so that's a good sign for them. Obviously, the Irish with that running clock, getting some younger players into the game.
I think that's a good idea. These players are going to have to come in eventually one day.
This could be a handoff. Antonio Wright brought down right at the 45-yard line for a 2-yard gain. But that's the thing with the roster. Those players, even the ones that don't get in there all that much, they have to do the same number of wind sprints, and they're out there in the heat just like everybody else. So when they get a chance to play in real-time action, it's definitely something that they appreciate. I can assure you of that. So 5:45 to go here, fourth quarter. Father Ryan leads 39-0. Tabscott looks at a 3rd and 8. Irish have to get to the Stratford 47-yard line to get a first down. Richard Bryant in the game for the Irish. I think with a 3-receiver look, that far side. Tabscott under pressure. He's got to feel that pressure. He throws it, and it falls incomplete, nearly intercepted by Stratford. James Moore close to pulling that one in, but it falls incomplete.
Tabscott talking with some of his receivers right now. I guess a little miscommunication on the play there. some of the routes.
So on 4th and 8, Tabscott stays in the game. 5 minutes and counting. This could be the quarterback punt, which would be the first for Tabscott. And indeed, that's what he sets up for. Nice one. It's spinning. Takes an Irish bounce at the 29. Rolls dead at the Stratford 23-yard line. So good job by D.C. Tabscott on that punt.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see what he does if they start playing him a little more and more. If he progresses as a freshman, you know, Irish going with that 2-quarterback system now down to 1. Maybe they try to bring a little bit of the 2-quarterback system back in. We'll see.
It's asking a lot of a freshman to go in there and do that, but certainly he's shown that he has the physical skills to perform at quarterback. Again, they're freshmen in the game. There's a reason for it. Father Ryan has brought in some talent last couple of years that will hopefully boost the Irish going forward beyond even this season. So on 1st and 10, less than 4 minutes to go in the game, Stratford work out of the shotgun. A dangerous throw, tipped, ball incomplete, and good job.
Last 3 passes have been almost intercepted, tipped in through the hands of several players.
There was a lot of that, though, against Hillsborough, and that's a different quarterback than they had. So, I mean, at this point, though, down by 39, the clock continuing to run there in that nothing-to-lose mode. Trying to get at least something on the scoreboard for pride, if nothing else. So 3 receivers are lining up on the far side, 1 to the near on this 1st and 10, or 2nd and 10 for Stratford. Quick throw to the far side, complete. Brought down at the 30-yard line. James Moore on the completion.
You start to hear the students getting a little put on Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
Classic victory song and feel-good song at the end of a game. It's good to hear that again from the jungle.
And again, this is a game that was to be played at Stratford. Haven't heard Father Ryan. A great turnout. A lot of purple here in the stands, parking lot.
Nearly full.
Nearly full as a pushing capacity. So on 3rd and short, it's a throw incomplete.
Seemed to be a little bit just too far behind there.
I have to concur with you on that one, Owen. That pass a little bit behind the intended receivers, walking sideways to me, so I can't tell you which number he is. Ends up being, of course, a player that they have 2 number 4s on their team, so incomplete no matter what it was. So it's going to be 4th and 1 for Stratford with the ball at their own 30. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the game. They really have nothing to lose by going for it here. Irish bring a little bit of pressure up the middle. It's going to be a keeper, and it appears to be a first down. Robert Lilly Sneed.
See, Tabscott over there just like, darn. You really want to get back out on the field, getting our series in, but I don't think.
If Father Ryan gets the ball back before this minute 40 and counting ends, I imagine it's going to be handoffs. But maybe not. You never know what will happen.
Like I said, I think experience is the main goal here for these younger players, so you never know what they'll run.
Speaking of experience, Jaden Johnson in at corner for the Irish on this 1st and 10. He's a freshman out there. Pressure by Father Ryan, and a sack.
Ball's out. I don't know what happened there. Blow's dead, but I think the ball came out before he's down. They're just going to rule him down there.
So Forrest Dingler on the stop, just a sophomore. 6 feet tall, 185 pounds. Father Ryan showing some of its defensive depth here as we're in the final minute of this game.
And they're still doing pretty well, I have to say.
Even with their backups in against the starters.
Starters, you got to keep in mind, are probably a little winded after the pressure from the Irish starters.
And what hustle there. Great job on the sack for Father Ryan. Will Jamison. Another freshman getting in there. And now as you talk about a player having a motor, right on that one, Jamison showed his motor, able to chase down the elusive quarterback for Stratford. Lilly Sneed brought down in less than 30 seconds to go in this game. We may see one more play here before they wrap it up.
All smiles on that Father Ryan sideline, and in here the stands today. This has been a good, solid game from the Irish, showing how well they can run the ball and control the line of scrimmage.
Certainly a good morale booster going into the JP2 game this Friday.
JP2 is probably going to be a little fired up after what happened last week.
Imagine, so this is the final play of the game unless there's a penalty. Quarterback is run out of bounds, Lily Sneed. And that will be the final play of the game. So Owen, a wonderful showing here for Father Ryan, and what was technically a road game for them, but the first one here at the G because of the having to change from being at Stratford due to all that rain. And the Irish have just about everything go their way except for maybe the extra points. They come up with this 39-0 victory.
They'll work it out.
Imagine they will. This is,
Knowing Coach Rector, he's going to work it out.
Oh, I'm sure they will be emphasizing that between now and this upcoming Friday. And we will have that game for you live here on ATW Sportscast at 7 p.m. this Friday. So for Owen Dougherty and everybody behind the Crest and ATW Sportscast, I'm Lou Pickney saying so long. Final score, Father Ryan 39, Stratford 0.